10, I am Nifemi Oguntoye. We're staying with our coverage of the nationwide protest as the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has directed that all commands and units of the force should be placed on red alert to quell further violent protest. The IGP spoke while addressing the media on the outcome of day one of the nationwide protest in Abuja.
Based on actionable intelligence at our disposal, indicating that some groups were mobilizing for violent protest, while some groups claiming to be mobilizing for peaceful protest were doing so with violent undertones, refusing to cooperate with the police on measures to be taken to guarantee peaceful protest. On the basis of this intelligence, the police advised that the protest should be shelved at this instant. Where the organizers insisted on going on with the protest, they were advised to stage the protest in confined locations. This will have enabled the police provide adequate protection for the protesters and isolate the criminals whose intention was to loot and destroy in the name of a protest. This we were doing in furtherance of our duty to protect lives and property and maintaining law and order. While we affirm the constitutional rights of citizens to assemble and express their views on issues of national importance, we were wary about the dangers posed by agitation instigated by some individuals who have shown tendencies to be disloyal to the government of the day. Despite our suspicions, we showed good faith through professional conduct by providing security at strategic locations, all aimed at ensuring peaceful conduct during the protest, as the promoters pledged. Our men, deployed nationwide, went out with a clear brief to ensure that no one is unnecessarily harassed or intimidated. In places where there were court orders, we gave instructions for observance of same. Regrettably, events in some major cities today showed that what was being instigated was mass uprising and looting, not protest. Those who were in the forefront of promoting the idea of the protest were not around to lead it. Hoodlums have been let loose on innocent Nigerians and their hard-earned businesses and property looted and destroyed. The motive of the rioters was basically two: loot and destroy both private and government property. The destruction so far has been mind-boggling. There has been destruction in Kano, Borno, Yobe, Kaduna, Gombe, Bauchi, FCT, Abuja, Niger, and Jigawa. Police stations have been destroyed. There have been attempts to take over government houses, looting of government infrastructures. Several warehouses and shops so far have been looted and in several instances completely destroyed. In spite of the refusal of the protesters, for instance in FCT, to adhere to a court order requesting that protests in Abuja should be at the National Stadium, they trooped into the streets, and yet the police provided security for them. At no point did we breach their fundamental rights, even as they breached court orders. In places like FCT, Kaduna, Kano, and Gombe, among others, we recorded incidents of unprovoked attacks on our security personnel, where one policeman has been reported murdered and others seriously injured. We alerted earlier that terror elements may take advantage of the protest to infiltrate the crowd of protesters with suicide bombers. Yesterday in Lagos, our EOD team was informed of a suspected IED on Bakantoni Way, Ikeja. The team responded swiftly and rendered safe what turned out to be an improvised explosive device, IED. Today in Borno State, we recorded another incident of explosion, which occurred in the crowd of protesters, killing 4 instantly and severely injuring 34 others, many of whom are presently on danger list. We wish to advise law-abiding citizens of Nigeria to heed and not dismiss warnings given by the police and other security agencies, which were based on credible and actionable security intelligence. In the light of the current situation, the Nigerian Police Force has placed all units on red alert. Our officers are fully mobilized and prepared to respond swiftly and decisively to any further threats to public safety and order. We remain committed and resolute to protecting lives and property and ensuring that law and order are maintained across the nation. Groups who are hiding under the guise of exercise of a right provided in the Constitution to destabilize the country should also remember that the same Constitution imposed on them the duty to obey the laws of the land and respect the rights of other citizens. The police is equipped to respond appropriately to the unfolding situations and will get assistance from other security agencies, including the military, if the need arises. We appeal to all citizens to remain calm and cooperate with the police and other security agencies during this challenging period. Your safety is our top priority, and we will continue to take all necessary measures to ensure continued peace and stability in our country.
Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun addressing the breakdown of law and order in some states of the Federation where violence was witnessed today during the nationwide protest. The states are the FCT, Kano, Gombe, Bauchi, Borno State, Kaduna, Niger, and Yobe. We have details in this report.
These are some of the states that witnessed violent protests. In the FCT Abuja, hoodlums were seen destroying vehicles and stealing properties as police operatives fired tear gas to disperse protesters. In Kano State, Nigerian police force fired tear gas to try to disperse protesters that made bonfire in front of Governor's house. In Kaduna State, police operatives got injured as protests turned violent. 25 protesters were arrested in the state. Gombe State also had its fair share in the protest as protesters returned looted items to the police. Some other states witnessed violent protests.
Defense correspondent Sifon Esen covered the protests in Abuja. He joins me live on TVC News at 10. Sifon, you had asked the Inspector General of Police earlier about whether or not his men were overwhelmed by the protesters. Talk to us about what you saw on the field yourself vis-a-vis the IGP's reply.
Well, the IGP replied that his men were not overwhelmed, but we saw a situation where the mob outnumbered police operatives, and in several instances took over a switch of the highway and very major roads, especially on the outskirts, talking about the Muritala Mohammed International Highway, as well as the Abuja-Kaduna switch of the road, ostensibly stopping motorists from going through. That was the experience we had. Even at some point in time, we were accosted by this mob because they had become uncontrollable. Efforts by law enforcement led by the police to bring the situation under control defied, every form of reason and strategy engaged. At the time, we covered the events within the area where we were reporting from.
Very, very interesting development, and didn't turn out exactly the way government had envisaged. But quickly, let us explore what you think is going to happen going forward. The top police officers at that press briefing were wearing red bands. When they say they have now put their units on red alert, what does that mean for the protest going forward?
Well, what we can deduce from what the IGP has said is that the issue would no longer be treated with kid gloves. So we see a situation where the police will scale up the level of force it would apply to restore law and order if there is any threat to law and order within the area of operations tomorrow.
Defense correspondent Sifon Esen live